Hi everyone, this is Brendaliz Baez with Mortgage Celebrity. Today we have David and Kristin at the studio today. We would like to introduce David. He's new to real estate.
Hi guys, my name is DThomas, as she said. I work for Pagoda Realty, and I've just started this year, and it's been a good experience so far.
So I want to ask David today what got him into real estate.
For me, I think what brought me into real estate was primarily the fact that I want to make other people happy, knowing that I can improve people's livelihoods, and also on top of that, bring more success to everybody else around me. I think that's what drove me in and wanted to be more successful. So, yeah.
Which is pretty awesome because me and David actually have a background where we worked at a warehouse for many, many years. And now today we are both in real estate. I'm a loan officer, a bilingual loan officer, and David is now new to real estate. So it's pretty awesome to see you into real estate. What would you say is your biggest challenge?
I think my biggest challenge so far is definitely the fact that since I'm a new real estate agent, the knowledge part of it all, it kind of like hurts me because it's like I want to be able to tell everybody I know everything, but I have to be honest, I don't know everything. But that's where having Kristin, who's been doing it for almost 20 years now, has that experience, and she's my partner. So it allows me to give them the answers that they need and also give them the comfort of things are going to go the right way. Yeah. So it's huge. It helps a lot.
And I would agree with what you said. It's every file is completely different. Everyone 100%. Is completely different. I feel like it's a challenge for every file. But as a new loan officer and as a new real estate agent, I mean, I agree with you. Like, it's knowledge that is tough.
Yeah.
How long have you been in real estate?
It's been 19 years, so it's been quite a while. And the market's been crazy. It's changed a lot. I got into the business in 2007, so that's when everything completely crashed. So that was not a great time. And right now it's also crazy. It's just really difficult for buyers. They're getting frustrated. So you have to really just like stand by their side and keep reassuring them that we are going to find them a house and we're going to get it done. So
for you, how do you handle buyers that don't have a pre-approval yet?
Normally, first I have to just kind of figure out their situation, figure out their credit, figure out how much money they have to put into a home. And I have a bunch of lenders that I know, and I know what they excel at. So I pretty much just get an idea of what they need and then send them to a lender who I know is going to be pretty good of a fit for them.
This is completely different for you now, coming from the fact that we worked at a warehouse, 4 walls, and now we're actually out here interacting with people. Is completely different compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, it definitely has changed because to go from working in a warehouse and, all you're doing is meeting the demand of the company, and you go from that to try and be as much of a people person as you can be to make everybody happy. And luckily for me, like, that's just who I am. I'm very personable. I want to make people happy and just be myself. And it allows me to do that doing realty. And I think helping people find new homes, if they want to list their home and help them do that, I can show them a side of me that they don't get from a lot of other realtors. Like, the one thing that separates me from them is the fact that I'm willing to go out of my way and, even do rentals, because you build rapport with people, even starting off with rentals, because, people are still looking to rent, even though they don't feel like the time is right to go to a lender and see if they're pre-approved yet. And we actually had a funny story on the way up here. I had a client of mine. I actually got a call from the listing manager and was saying that, hey, let your client know they got approved for the rental. And I actually got to call them and to hear their expression on the phone and how happy they were. Like, they were so excited because they needed it right away. And just that joy that you get from hearing like how happy they are and knowing that like you're changing their livelihood. You're putting them into a position where they can go and be happy and be successful now and have that stress off their back. And what it actually opened up to was, hey, just so you know, you did so well with me with this rental. I look forward to getting my house with you. Like, I just want to get my feet stabilized right now, but moving forward, I'm moving in with you as my realtor. So knowing I give them that creates all the happiness for me, because of course every realtor wants to get paid. But if you're bringing the happiness and people feel like they can trust you and you're going to work with them and go out of your way, that's always going to bring them back. So that's been the biggest thing for me, I think, so far. So yes, as much as I enjoyed working in a warehouse with you, it's going to feel even better to bring clients, especially if I can bring them to you, especially if they're bilingual, to bring them, hey, I have somebody I trust, somebody I've known for a long time. It's not just with this business. I've known them outside of this. And to give them to you possibly and let them work with you, especially if they're bilingual, it makes me feel good knowing that they're going to somebody they can trust.
And
so, yeah.
I think trust is huge. Like there's a lot of agents that I think people feel like they just want to sell the home. You know what I mean? They just go into the home. They're like, this is great. Sign the paperwork. And that's not what we're about. And that's why I took him on too, because I know how he is. Like, I know he cares. We both care. So we just want to make sure that like, I'm not going to go into this house and they're like, oh, I love this. This is great. And I'm like, I know you love it, but like, let's look at everything. Let's look a little closer and just make sure that like, there's not anything crazy going on with this house. I always laugh when I tell him, I'm like, I'm the worst salesperson ever because I'm literally always talking people out of buying houses, but it's because I just want to make sure that they're getting the right thing. And I get to know them really well. I know what they like and I know what they want and I know what they need. So it's just, I don't know. I think that's what we both like relate well with is we just want to make sure that we're really taking care of them and that they can trust us. And we want them to come back to us. So, yeah.
Yeah. One happy client leads to another. And like she was saying, just to reiterate on that, you have a knowledge just living your own houses. You know what I mean? Like when you live in your own house, what are you looking for? So when you have new buyers that they don't know what they're looking for, they're just excited to look at that house. Hey, just so you know that there's a leak stain over here and the basement looks damp. Stuff that they're not looking for because they're just hoping that it fits what their livelihood is. Before we get to that point, just know like these might be issues and we want to clear those up because as much as, for you, this is your reality. For me, it's my profession. And I want to make sure that you're taken care of because if you're happy at the end of the day, it comes back on us and we look great and you're going to recommend us. And that's what we want. We want happy customers that come back clients that come back. I'm sorry. Customers aren't clients.
I mean, that's a good point too, like trying to look out for your client when you're in the home because a lot of the time right now they're up against multiple offers and they can't get those inspections. They know that they're not going to get the offer accepted if they get inspections. So that's a challenge too. It's just like, I'm not an inspector, but I'm trying my best to tell them like, hey, this could be an issue. So like, I need you to know about this. And either we can get like a quick pre-inspection and have an inspector come in and look like as a showing, you know what I mean? Just so they can like give you a little bit of an idea or just know that when you do buy this house, like these are the things that we're seeing that might be an issue. So be prepared, have money in the bank. Don't spend it all on the house because in that first year, that house tells you a lot. Like you learn everything in that first year and that's where all of your money goes. So yeah, it's just trying to assist them. A lot of the times it's first-time home buyers that we're working with. I mean, those are my favorite buyers to work with.
Mine's too.
So they don't know anything about a house. They have landlords who have been taking care of the houses for them or not taking care of them. But either way, they get used to those conditions and they don't realize how much money goes into that first year that you're in a house. Yeah. So just trying to look out for people.
Yeah, it gets tough in the beginning because, they come in and they think, oh, I want to look at a $300,000 house. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Everybody does. But I think they have to realize too, when you first come into it, the best steps is to get a pre-approval. It's great to reach out to a loan officer or a lender and let them know like, hey, I don't know where I'm at, but if I can get that foundation built so I can afford this, I can move forward with the realtor and start looking for those houses. So it's also making sure we get them to take the right steps because as much as they want to look at 10 houses, and that's great, gas prices are expensive. So before we can get to that point, let's make sure you're in the right ballpark because nobody wants to waste their time. And I want them to be happy. I don't want them to look at a $500,000 house and they can't afford it. So I try and get them, hey, get your right steps going, talk to the lender, get pre-approved, and let's get things rolling from there. So, and that's why you're so big. And I try and tell them that's the first steps. As much as you want to look at houses, get a pre-approval. It's the best first step.
And go to someone you trust and because you get those online approvals and so many times you get an approval from, a big name company online and they really don't even look at your documents. They don't really even know what they're approving you for. and you can get under contract on a home and find out a week before closing that you can't even close on that home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's awful for everybody involved. So knowing somebody like you who's like a local person who's going to show up at settlement and who we know we can trust, that's everything. So that's what we always try to tell everybody we're working with. Go to somebody we know and we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going back to what you had mentioned, just the feeling of helping. And even if you don't get a pre-approval now,
right.
Just having that relationship is big for me. Like I had a client who reached out to me and she wanted to buy a house. And she said, I have no credit. And we have still been in communication till today. And I later found out she's the same age as my oldest son. And it just brought this, I was full of emotions just guiding her through the process. And even though we can't get her pre-approval today, we are still in contact and I am helping her, guide her for that moment when it does happen.
Yeah.
And helping her rebuild her credit and things like that. So we're in communication, like it's a whole new friendship.
Yeah.
So for me, that I just loved it.
That's great. I love when there are lenders who will do that and take the time to work with people who need the help with their credit, because it means so much more when you're working with them and you get them to that point where they can buy that house. It's just like the greatest feeling. So, and not everybody will do that.
Yeah.
So.
She called me. She said, I went to the bank and I got a secured card and I put this amount down and I'm getting credit, and just her excitement behind it. And I was able to guide her the right direction. It means a lot to me because like I said, I could relate. I have my oldest son and he's the same age as her. And I remember when he first started off.
Yeah.
So.
And that's huge because when you build a relationship over a commission check, it's huge because your paycheck's here and it's gone. But when you build strong relationships, that's forever. As long as you treat it the right way and let it grow, it's forever. And, you know, that person's going to recommend the next person. Could be their child, or could be their friend. And it always comes back to you because, hey, they took care of me. I wasn't even ready, and she made sure I got ready. And that's huge. And that's what we try to do in real estate, too.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not ready, but when you are, we'll be here. But whatever steps you may need to help, as our profession, we're going to do as much as we can to help you. You know what I mean? We don't mind showing, or at least me, I don't. Me being new, I don't mind showing you a couple houses just to get you into the rhythm of how things are going to go, what to look for. Because even though we don't know what you're pre-approved for the first house I'm showing you, I can let you know, like, these are the steps we're going to be doing moving forward for the next houses once you're pre-approved. And like I said, building that relationship is what makes things so much easier, brings the clients back or brings your recommendations in from them. So, you know, just like you said, building up that rapport with her and letting her know, like, hey, you know, you're not ready, but I'm going to help you get ready, and I'll be here if you have questions. That's huge. And those relationships are forever. So that's great to hear.
Yeah. So, well, I cut that out. Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate the time out.
We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And just, you know, going from a warehouse and now being able to sit across the table means a lot, that we can still carry this friendship that we've had, you know, going from a battery warehouse and now we're just sitting here and talking and continuing that relationship means a lot. So I do appreciate you guys coming out here and taking the time to put yourself out there.
We appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.